What's going on, everyone? I hope you're having a great hunting season. We got a couple things to touch on before we dive into this video. The first thing has to do with YouTube restrictions and guidelines. This is a reminder for YouTube that I am 18. I was born on August 10th, 2006, and I turned 18 on August 10th, 2024. This video was filmed September 15th, 16th, and 17th, 2024. So right now, and when this video was filmed, I was and am 18 years old. So there's no reason this video should be taken down or age restricted or any of that sort. Secondly, it's going to be a great video. It's going to be two parts. There'll be the first video here, and then there should be another one dropping next week as well that's going to follow up the end of the hunt. So it should be a great one, and we're going to dive right in.
This is a piece that spent a fair bit of time deer hunting in. Late September, my brother actually shot a buck back in here, and it's a good spot that held deer last year, so we're going to dive back in and see if there's anything in here this year. Got the stand, and it's about 3:45, so we're coming in a little late, but hoping to have a good sit in there somewhere. We're just going to kind of sneak our way in, and I know of one tree that I want to set up in maybe, but if it's not looking good, then we'll keep pushing in further and just see how it looks, so we're going to head in there. The river is really high. I'm about 150 yards in, and for the first about 200 yards of the walk, I'm kind of like alongside the river, and it's right in between the river and the private. Last year, around this time, it was a lot lower. Probably just because all that rain, but there's a ton of bedding cover right behind me. I'm already seeing a good amount of deer signs, so I'm feeling like we could definitely see some deer tonight. Some butts, and there's a flock of about 25 turkeys right here. start shaking. I need to calm down because if these things come in, I gotta be able to make a shot.
that was a crazy hunt. I'm back to the car now. Couple things I want to touch on. The first is finding those secluded areas that aren't getting hunted, and they're going to be loaded with deer, especially when the sign is in there right now. If you can find a spot with not a lot of people and sign, it's going to be a recipe for a lot of deer. That's exactly what happened tonight. We saw 7 deer, saw 3 does, and 4 bucks. Crazy hunt. One to remember for sure. I left the stand in there, and I'll be back, if not tomorrow, then the next day. See you then. As you can see, that's the line of public-private, and that's the river. So I've got about 15 yards of spots, or of area that I can walk through, and then right up here it opens back up, and back up. And the parking lot's right on the other side of that, so the only way you can get into this spot is right through here. And all these hawthorns kind of block it. It's literally right there is the only spot. Did you guys have a safe ride? Our well all set up now. It is right about 4:30. Unfortunately, I got all in the stand and everything, and I dropped this GoPro right down below me. So I went down to retrieve it, and right when I hit the ground, those 2 velvet bucks from last night jumped up and snorted at like 20 yards. Tough to say whether we're gonna still see them. It was only 2 of them, and there's definitely other deer here. So we're here. We're gonna give it a shot. So we'll see how it goes. It's right at 6 o'clock, and I finally just saw a deer coming our way. Right behind me. Alright, he just came out. That wasn't a doe, it was a buck. And I believe it was one of the bucks I spooked, which means it's good. He's feeding at about 75 yards right now. Well, that's probably going to be it. It's 7:10 right now, which means we've got 20 minutes left. And last I saw, that bigger buck was headed directly away at 215 yards. And the smaller buck was feeding, quartering away at 275 to 300 yards. I'm feeling like I probably need to push in further tomorrow. I don't know, I'm going to have to sleep on it. We're going to sit the final 20 minutes. Maybe something will come through, but I doubt it. And, yeah, good sit though. We saw deer, that was what was important. We had some nerves, we had some shaking. Anytime you're in the deer stand with a bow in your hand and you're shaking, it's a good hunt, so.
this cow has made her way down to the water. She's right at the bank there, and she was drinking a little bit, but now she's just got her head up. Well, been up on this little hill for maybe 25 minutes, and I was glassing down in the bottom and right down there in the willows. Picked up a cow moose. She's probably about 200 yards right now, and she's just feeding. She wasn't there when I first got here, so I'm guessing she was bedded in those willows and then just stood up. Alright, it is 5:45. I was watching those moose, and I looked out about 100 yards from where my stand was, right around where those bucks were feeding, and I spotted a doe. And then I looked a little further in front of that, and I picked up those 3 bucks. And they're actually in a stockable position. So I've got the wind perfect. It's just coming right towards me. I have to cross the river. I've got to go through the thick bedding stuff and then cross the river. And if I get on the other side without them seeing me and the wind stays good, I think there's an extremely good chance we'll get a shot. They're about 300 yards off right now, so I'm just gonna cross this thick stuff. Go over there, cross the river, and then come back, and the bucks are right there. So we're gonna go and see if this will work out. All right, I may have overthought this one a little bit. This is a absolute jungle. When I say jungle, I do mean jungle. I'm not exaggerating. If we can even get over there without them busting, it'll be a miracle. This is unbelievably thick. All right, the river's up there. It's just literally just a wall. You can't get through this stuff. You literally just cannot get through it. I mean, it's literally a wall. The most ridiculous. What am I doing? There's a freaking bald-faced hornet nest right there. We gotta go around. Holy shit. Oh, that feels really nice. It's getting really deep now. I think I gotta cross up there. Alright, let's see. Can we cross? It's getting deeper. We're almost the other side. It's almost to the chest harness. I think we're gonna go for it. Oh, it's sinking sand. It's sinking sand. I'm sinking. I'm going. Alright, we're crossing it. There's a crazy amount of deer tracks right here. We started up there, went down, crossed. We're going back. The bucks are right there. Alright, last I saw the bucks right there, but they were working this way. I'm gonna sneak this edge to here. Yep, wind's drifting back like this. We'll have the wind good. I'm actually gonna get underneath this cut. That way I can move quicker. And I can't get busted while I'm down here. Then I'll pop back up over there. Alright, we're going up. Sleeves up because they're gonna make a lot of noise. they see me, because if I see them before they see me, we got a really good chance. But if they see me first, we're done. I'm getting pretty close to where they were. Alright, so those things were feeding right in these trees. About 50 yards up there. Pretty sure that's it. Let me stand up on this. Okay, yep, that's him. Alright, so I just spotted the buck. He's right up there. About 70 yards. So this is completely doable now. Now I'm gonna just sneak down here and get up. I think we're gonna get a shot here. Alright, he should be up there about 50 yards. I spot him at the tree. We've made it about 15. Yeah, about 20 actually. He was right there last time I saw him. I moved about a couple hundred yards and I just spotted a doe right up here. She's feeding right there. I thought we were out of it, but we totally have a chance now. Dang it, man. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I just took it too fast. Well, that was interesting. Overall, very successful stalk. We got to within 40 yards. So I dropped all the way down. I came all the way down through all that thick stuff. Got in here, and when I got to that big tree, spotted the buck. He was still there. Everything was lining up. And I snuck all the way up to where he was, and he wasn't there anymore. And so they had just moved forward in that amount of time between when I had snuck down or when I had spotted him and then snuck up, you know? So instead of calling it quits there, I decided I was going to keep pushing just quietly and slowly because I had seen that other doe and I knew that there were other deer in the area. So I kept pushing up, and sure enough, I got about another 150 yards and I looked up and there was a doe walking parallel to me that didn't see me at maybe 60, 70 yards. And so that's when I went back into stealth mode and I kept creeping in and I got to 50 yards. And then I guess I was just taking it too fast because they probably heard me. My wind was good. And the one doe blew and then another deer blew right there. So I think it was a doe and another doe. And they didn't like it. She pinned me and then she kind of was locked on there and I didn't get too much of that on film. But she pretty much was stomping and blowing and walked, stomping and blowing to about 40 yards and I was pinned the whole time. and then she blew and ran off. And then they stopped again at like 70 yards. So I gotta grab the bino harness and my phone first. Then I gotta grab my shoes and my socks. Then I gotta cross the river. Then I gotta cross the jungle. Then we gotta go through the up stuff. Then we gotta get on that road. Then we gotta hike the 2 miles back. So we got a ways to get back. I'm really having fun with putting stocks on these deer. That was so much fun. I just love doing this, man. Ever since that mule deer hunt, it's just kind of like so fun. Here's the bino harness. I'm gonna grab this and we'll see up there. Alright, here we go. Back across. Alright, I'm gonna just walk the beach instead. I'll see you up there. Alright, well I got back up here to the glassing knob. Found an easy way across to that jungle that you don't actually have to cross all that thick stuff. So I think I'm gonna come back here tomorrow, do the exact same thing. When as soon as I spot those bucks, because I know they're gonna be in the same spot, I'm gonna just take off from here, go the easy route, and I should be able to get there in like 20 minutes. And I'm feeling good about it, so beautiful night. Beautiful, beautiful night. Great stock. We will see y'all tomorrow afternoon. He's in velvet still and he's crossing left to right coming towards us. Could just be a waiting game.